everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's Olivia here and it's a Wednesday, so I'm bringing you another speed build. Right, today's build, as you've seen from the title, it is a Hufflepuff build. Now, it's kind of what I imagine if some people from Hufflepuff got together and moved into a house. I was going to do it kind of modern, but then I decided that I would keep it kind of like the wizard theme. And the reason it's Hufflepuff is because Hufflepuff is actually my Harry Potter house. And I took the quiz on, well, it's not called Pottermore anymore, it's called Wizarding World. But I took that quiz and I got Hufflepuff. So I was sort of just like looking up the traits and stuff. I already know that most of them are like they're loyal and I think they're quite honourable and honest. But they have a lot of other traits, and I think a Hufflepuff is kind of looked down on. At first, I have to admit I wasn't entirely happy to be a Hufflepuff, but I'm definitely owning it now, and I had so much fun doing this. I actually learned quite a lot about the house just from like researching things to decide what to put in the build. But you'll see here that I've done like two separate buildings. One is hidden behind the hill. So the reason I've done it like this is so that if you were walking past, you couldn't see this. And that's because apparently, like when I was reading up about it, and you've never actually seen it in the movies, and I don't think they get into it in the books either, but no one outside of Hufflepuff has actually seen their common room. So I decided to have this hidden part of the building that's going to be like their kitchen area, and like their common space. So I decided to have that bit sort of hidden away from like the public, so that kind of stuck with this thing that like nobody's actually seen where they are. And I saw a thing that was saying that Hufflepuff's supposed to be like the dumbest house, which I don't think is true at all. I think they're just not boastful about it, really. Like, they don't boast about their grades, they don't boast about how smart they are. I know that Ravenclaw's obviously the smart house, but Hufflepuff, we're smart too. And because they're not boastful, I also decided to hide like their swimming pool and stuff behind this hill so that they're not like showing off to everyone. And I just decided to make it like a really big welcoming space because I think that Hufflepuffs would be nice and welcoming. I mean, I don't think that they would leave anyone out, and I think that's one of their really good traits. But it was really tricky just trying to get the different terrain heights to get the steps in, and the build actually ended up taking me like 5 hours in total, I think. I think I did it in like different increments of time, but when I looked at all my recordings together, it definitely took a while. And again, I watched another Kate Emerald tutorial and I wanted to try out the glass pool type thing, so that was good fun to put in as well. I mean, if you don't watch Harry Potter, then what's wrong with you? But no, if you don't watch Harry Potter, you won't know this, but the house colours for Hufflepuff are black and yellow, so that's why I kind of kept the buildings, I would say, black and yellow brick. And I think a lot of these items are actually from the university expansion pack, and they just work really well for these types of mystical Harry Potter builds. I did kind of start building Hogwarts, like at the beginning of lockdown, I think. I've done the exterior, didn't do the interior. I don't think I'll be posting because it's not very good, but I used a lot of the university stuff for that. So if you're doing any Harry Potter style builds, university is definitely the pack to get to do that. And there's so many things for like roommates and dorms, as Americans call them. We just call them like halls here. That's what I call them anyway. So you can get like dorms and stuff like that. I didn't do it like a massive place. Like the main building only has 2 floors and I think it's only got 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. So it is more if just like a bunch of friends from Hufflepuff tried to move in. I also covered the place in plants because that's apparently what the common room looks like. It's covered in plants. Their common room is actually underground, I believe. It's next to the kitchen, which is why I also put the kitchen on a different floor, because there's like a kind of running joke with Hufflepuffs is that like, oh, they've got a lot of plants and they love being in the kitchen and they're always like really hungry from their plants and stuff. So it's kind of like a running joke that Hufflepuffs like to smoke, and they're next to the kitchen, so they got all the food they want. So I kind of wanted to go with this theme and give them a whole separate building for their kitchen. I did put a bathroom in the building with the kitchen so that obviously they don't have to go in between buildings, and then there's 2 bathrooms in the main building as well. So yeah, as you can see here, like I was putting loads of plants on the building outside. And another reason for doing this is, well, one, their head of house is, I was going to say her real name, but their head of house is Professor Sprout, and she's a herbology teacher, so that's plants and stuff, so that's one of the reasons. And then the other reason as well is that they actually had Newt Scamander, if I'm saying that right. If you've seen Fantastic Beasts, you'll know who I'm on about. So he had a lot of like plant animal-y type things, so I tried to put that in, and then I put that big gold pig in because you don't get badgers, so I'm going to pretend that that's like their gold badger there. And then like black and yellow crystals, and again more plants and just little knickknacks and stuff. I wanted to keep this area as a sort of modest entranceway. So again, they're not boastful, so didn't want them to show off. I tried to keep to their colours, black and yellow, as much as I could. There's so many yellow and red options, but I can't put them in because that's Gryffindor, and we're not Gryffindor here. We are cute little Hufflepuffs. And I can't believe this, right? But I've never seen those sofas. Ever. Like, I build all the time, and I don't think I've ever used them. But I think they're really quite cute, and I think it's more like yellow and brown, but I think for the purposes of the build, it actually like suits it quite well. And that basketball jersey, I was thinking like maybe it could be like a Quidditch outfit or something. And then all those pictures of people, previous Hufflepuffs, like Cedric Diggory, rest in peace. And who else? Oh, my mind's run a blank. But I mean, Hufflepuff has lots of good people. I think Hufflepuff is like the house that's actually turned out the least amount of dark wizards. So that's like the main area, and they're lacking otherwise I think that Hufflepuffs are pretty good all-rounders. And then I had to go with like these hexagon, if it's a hexagon, maybe. Yeah, hexagon lights. From Eco Lifestyle, I think. Again, I had debug on, so I'm pretty sure you have to like fabricate those. So like yeah, if you want to find them, you have to have debug on, I'm afraid. This is the upstairs here, and it was, well, I had an issue. So I came down to my room pretty early, like last night, to come and film and do a little bit more of my build so that I wasn't rushed today to do it. But of course, what happened? Oh, my computer froze. Thankfully, everything was recorded. So look there, that's a jump where I've got beds and stuff. Everything was recorded up until I put in like the lights in that previous bedroom I was just doing. So I actually had to spend a good couple of hours watching the footage back and trying to place everything in the same position. So I'm sorry that if you download the build from the gallery or when I do my tour later on, I'm sorry if things are in different places and you notice things are maybe different. It's just that none of the windows had been saved, none of the flooring, none of the interior walls, nothing had been saved. It was like almost all of it was lost. So I was just crying while trying to put everything back together. But I think I kind of managed to do it. Thankfully, I had the footage to look back on and do it there. So there's 2 bedrooms with 2 single beds in it, and this one with a double. I was kind of thinking like, oh, if there was parents and their family moved in here, like a Hufflepuff family, but you could do it whatever way you wanted. You could do a couple, or you could just do friends sharing the bed, whatever you fancy. And then there's just like, well, there's the lounge area downstairs, but then I add in a little lounge area upstairs. I didn't put any TVs in this build. I put laptops because like they actually need laptops to survive basically, otherwise their fun will go all the way down. But I didn't put any TVs because, well, there's no TVs, they're magic. Their newspapers move. Another thing I didn't put in, and I completely forgot to do this, but I actually forgot to put in a bin. So I'm sorry, I've done that so many times, but they're magic, so technically I feel like they should just be able to get rid of it themselves. But yeah, if you download this from the gallery, you will have to add in a bin, and I even forgot to do like a main big bin outside. I think because I just bulldozed a lot and then obviously took so much like time up doing the terrain, then I think I just completely forgot about all those usual house builds, and this was just completely different. So this is the upstairs bathroom here. The downstairs bathroom has the bath, and then the upstairs one just has a big shower area. So there's plenty of space for the Sims to get ready. I was actually thinking of making a family to go in here, but I have not done that as of yet. I'm not very good at Create a Sim, and I was actually going to see if I could download some like custom content to get some Harry Potter outfits. I'm sure they must exist. I mean, you get so many weird things that shouldn't exist in custom content, so surely Harry Potter exists too. But this is the main building and it's pretty much done now. So I just put in a couple of rugs there just to make it a little bit cozier. And then you got steps there leading down to this other building and just putting some more like ivy and stuff there. Unfortunately, there's a severe lack in like black and yellow plants. I suppose that doesn't really exist. But I thought that like those hexagon lights that I used earlier on, they're sort of like honeycomb shape, and you know, bees are black and yellow, so I feel like that kind of works in a way. But this is the bathroom in the second building. I kind of do this for all of my builds. I just use similar furniture for the bathroom, especially for this one because it was literally a black and yellow build. Then I was kind of restricted on what I could use. I actually filtered with the colors black and yellow for a lot of things, but it wasn't always like a good swatch. And in the kitchen here, I'm torn because I actually don't like these counters. To me, they don't really go with the game. I know that the game's got a sort of cartoony look, but they just look too cartoon to me, if that makes sense. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but if there was other counters that I had, then I would have used them, but these were the best ones for like the yellow and black kind of swatches. And then I just did a bit of mix match, some yellow and black chairs, and then some yellow and black counters, just to kind of mix it up a little bit. I feel like they're Hufflepuffs, I don't think are perfectionists. I mean, I think I'm a little bit perfectionist, but for this build, I just thought that they just want somewhere where they can go hang out and eat and get cozy and have lots of fun. And this is sort of their hidden area. I didn't want to do this one underground because they talk about how it's underground and like filled with so much light and stuff, but you like that just doesn't really work in The Sims. I feel like that's probably some sort of magic thing that makes their underground bunker really light and airy. So I just did it down the other side of the hill so it's still hidden. And then I just popped those cushions on there so that that like clipping was kind of hidden. I put my Sims in here to playtest it all. I'm pretty sure everything works. There might have been something that I forgot to playtest. I'm sorry if I did, but I did I spent a whole sim day making them go through all these different kind of things. And these flip-flop lights, some people make so much fun of them, but I think they're so cute. I love them and I use them all the time. And for this one, it was just so good that they had both yellow and black swatches and all these like rock stone lights. I think that they just work so well with the build. And then again, more plants. There's quite a lot of like yellow and white, so I just used that a lot of the time because there wasn't really the black and yellow swatches. And then the pool as well. I did a fairly small pool. I did actually try to make it bigger, but because I'm using like a special foundation, it didn't like really work because as soon as you try to make it bigger, then the foundation like copies onto it and then you lose the see-through pool. So it was just too much of a stress, but I put in a little diving board thing and then used a lot of terrain paint to make the grass look a little bit more flowery because, well, that's what they would have. I also gave the lot the trait, it's either good soil or great soil, something that helps plants grow because obviously their head of house is a herbology teacher, so things are going to grow well here. And like from the pictures that I saw of their common room, it's like obviously there's no pictures, but from the drawings that I saw of their common room. It's covered in plants. But yeah, I made this little bit out here, like a nice chill out area. Again, it's quite hidden. And then that's like the bug box, and I put in a little bee box as well. Put some towels out. I know that they don't really fit in, but they have some black and yellow, and then obviously black and yellow pool floaties. And I swap out that fireplace for a bigger one. I think I had an extra chair. Yeah, I do. I think soon enough we'll be coming up to the tour of the building because it is quite a big build in general. So I thought it would be nice just to give you a wee tour. It's not in real time, so that's why I'm like questioning when is it gonna appear. But oh yeah, it's gonna come soon because the chimneys were the last thing I put in. But anyway, so this is the entrance. This is what you would see if you were a sim. You can't really see what's going on the other side. And this is the inside here. Lots of black and yellow. And then you've got your chest there so they can get their skill levels up. And you come in here and this is like the biggest bathroom. This is their lounge area here. Again, like those pictures of previous Hufflepuff people. And then there's like loads of school pictures, well, building pictures that I imagine would be the school. Then to the right, you've got the bathroom, just a quick little peek at that. And then this is one of the bedrooms here. I quite like the contrasting of the yellow against the black wall and the black bed against the yellow wall. That's the other two bedrooms, the little lounge area. And then down, that's my sim again in here to play test it. Down here, we've got the kitchen. And this is the living area. I don't know how I feel about those like granny chairs, but I just thought they looked so cozy. And then we'll take you down outside. So you've got a nice big steps, and then you've just got your nice wee chill out area here where your Sims can jump in. And I just think this is exactly what Hufflepuff is. But yeah, that's me coming up to the end of this video now. I will have another episode of my Let's Play out on Saturday, so I'll see you guys then.